to the Premier League show. Yes, it is back. The final international break of 2025 is soon to be a memory. And the North London Derby heads up a brilliant weekend of games for you on Sky Sports. The one and only Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is with us to look ahead to it all. And once again, we've invited some friends along for the ride for the next couple of hours as well. Our studio audience, made up of fans from around the Premier League. Can't wait to hear from you all between now and 7. And everyone has a view on where their club stands and what the next few months might.
98th North London Derby on Super Sunday live from the Emirates. Arsenal are unbeaten in 6 against their great rivals, with Spurs looking to do something which they last did in the Premier League 15 years ago, and that's beat Arsenal on their own patch. Now, both sides may go into the game depleted in numbers. Spurs find themselves top of the injury list with 10 in total. And this figure could increase further once there is something definitive on Pape Matar Sarr's injury that he has picked up during this international break. At the moment, Spurs are without 6 senior midfield players, midfielders represented by the red colour there, and that includes James Maddison and Dejan Kulusevski. As for Arsenal, they find themselves second on the list with 7. That includes 2 big problems at the back as we wait for updates on centre-back Gabriel and the current starting left-back Riccardo Calafiori. So the first question for Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is that heading into this fixture, which of these sides is going to be most impacted by injuries?
Nice easy one to start with.
Yes. Wow. I think Spurs. I think Arsenal has got more strength in depth. Yes, they're still missing big key players, but I think for Spurs it is harder to replace them. So I think they will be affected more by it.
One of those big key players for Arsenal we're waiting for is Gabriel, and David Ornstein reporting in the last couple of days he could be out for between 1 to 2 months. Nothing from the club yet. We're waiting for concrete news. If that is the case, if it is the worst case scenario, how hard does that hit Arsenal and their hopes?
He's massive for them. He's their leader. He's their rock at the back. Him and Saliba, they work so well together. Yes, they have Masquero, who came from Valencia, but then still, you know, Gabriel is different quality, and he brings also goals. Important goals, you know, with their set pieces and stuff. So it will be a big miss. We're going into December, January, where a lot of games are going to be played, and you need your best players. I think Gabriel is a really important player for Arsenal.
Yeah, 11 games between now and the end of the year. Let's get the Arsenal fan perspective, shall we? Bring in Luke for the first time. Luke, Henry, shall that be Henry? Or is it? I mean, listen, if it is the worst case scenario, it's bad news, that, isn't it?
It is, but you can't make any excuses. And in the summer, we've done a lot of transfer work. You've got Piero Incappi in there. You've got Riccardo Calafiori that hopefully could be fit for Sunday. He can play left centre back, and also Jimmy mentioned Masquera there. So. Don't want to use it as an excuse, you want to use it as an opportunity. You touched on the importance of set pieces and goals, but this might surprise you. Gabriel has only scored 1 goal this season. It just shows the importance of him. And he kind of epitomises what we are right now. But, you know, people make excuses about Arsenal and injuries, but you look at that graphic there, I think that's a bigger concern about the state of football and the way it's in at the moment. I think the games are just so much, and we all want quality, we all want entertainment. But it's very difficult, even if you're a Spurs fan, to go to the Emirates with 6 midfielders missing. But you have to find a way. And we've got, injuries up front as well. But I say that, we've still got the likes of Leandro Trossard, Bukayo Saka, Eberechi Eze, Martin Odegaard hopes he comes back. So it's a big miss, but it's a good opportunity for the other players to come in and put their names.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it, Jimmy? This season, more than ever before, are you more confident now about Arsenal with the depth they have to cope with injuries, however big they might be?
Look, if you're going to be successful, if you want to be successful, you have to prepare for these kind of moments. It's going to happen in the season, and you still have to win. As you just said, they have spent a lot of money in the summer. They have got in every position. They have got really 2 really good players. So it should not be a problem. The only thing is the momentum and how everybody plays with each other. that's going to be the only problem, because some of them won't have a lot of games behind their belt. But then still, you know, it's at Arsenal. They play at home. You think that they should be still very dominant and should be able to beat Arsenal, to beat Spurs. You know, especially a Spurs with so many injuries.
We'll get our Spurs fans' perspective in just a moment. I just want to finish on Arsenal, though. Top of the league, 4-point lead, Luke. But you know, here we are, Premier League football back for the next 4 months through to the next international break in March. How much of a marker, what sort of marker do Arsenal need to lay down over these next few months?
It's an interesting one because, look, the North London derby is a beautiful game when you win. It's a horrible game when you lose. But I think with Arsenal fans and just football in general, you can't go too high and you can't be too low. Obviously, the derby, is form goes out the window. You want to win that game. But, you know, I've had this question a lot, and it's Arsenal need to win this game, Arsenal win to that game. Actually, Arsenal need to win as many games possible because they need to keep in front. And the beauty is right now is that we don't have to rely on Manchester City or Liverpool. We have to rely on ourselves. So we can lay down a marker by winning the North London derby. But, you know, if we go to Stamford Bridge the following week and we drop 2 points, then you have to bounce back against Brentford. And then you have to go to Aston Villa and do the same thing. So it doesn't really matter in terms of the grand scheme of things of laying down a marker. We know what we need to do. I think we've got an unbelievable group of players. And now it's just up to us to start on Sunday and carry this on. We've done this, like, long winning runs before. We just need to sustain it this time.
It's the thing for the outside. What Arsenal needs to do is just as cliche as it sounds, take each game as it comes as a game. Yeah, I'm at home. Yeah, we play Spurs, but look at it really cold. There's 3 points, and we need to win those 3 points. What is the best way, and how are we going to do that? Yes, it brings from the outside way more on the game because it's Spurs. But Arsenal, the group at Arsenal itself, the players, need to really stay cold and just business-like 3 points. Can they do that? I don't know. You know, it's going to be a big ask after Sunderland,
I was just gonna say.
and not winning there and having that setback.
Yeah.
How are they responding to that? Yes, there is 2 weeks between it, but in the past they haven't really responded well with disappointment.
Well, that's
you
what I
know.
was gonna
So
say.
for me, that is going to be those issues. If they don't win and it is a draw and Man City wins, it's only 2 points. And that is where they're going to become nervous, I think.
Yeah, you touched on it, and that's because of the international break and that Sunderland performance and that result. It's funny because, you know, the weeks before that, we were talking about Arsenal not conceding shots, Arsenal were head and shoulders the best team in the country, and then all of a sudden we see the performance from Manchester City, and then the next sentence is, should Arsenal be looking over their shoulders and worrying? That just shows how football can change so quickly, so we just need to put our heads down. It's a beautiful game, North London derby. It's the best game to have after sort of a setback, and that's what you want with the fans there. Half-full kick-off if you win, and that's what we need to do. And then you know you carry that on to Wednesday. Can't forget the importance of that. Bayern Munich at home. That's a really good game for us. And then Chelsea. So it's a big week, but in the Premier League they're all big weeks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I think it's going to be a home win. No, some things never change. It's a North London.
Yes, welcome back, Arsenal. Spurs, Bayern Munich and Chelsea. That's a mouth-watering way to return, isn't it? Jimmy, let's look at the Spurs angle then before we talk to our Tottenham Hotspur fan. Their last 4 Premier League wins have all come away from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Might it actually suit them that this is at the Emirates?
Yeah, it's because they set up a little bit different. The Spurs of before has always wanted to be a little bit open and